Town have lost. Oxford 2, Ipswich Town 1. And we're here to break it all down. It is your live reaction show. And it is live right now. Hello again, friends, and you are my friends. Welcome to your live match reaction show. I'm your host, The Gov, joined by Richard Chandler and Peter Cox this evening, and we want to be hearing from you, whether on the show. Click the link in the chat right now to come on the show and have your say in your words. Use our free voice messaging service, speakpipe.com/talkingtown. Details is in the description to leave your opinions, your questions, your frustrations, whatever it might be, because Town have been beaten away at Oxford this evening. The chance to go into the top two missed. Oxford taking all 3 points, and I want to know what you think and what you feel this evening. We've got lots of comments coming in. Charlie said McKenna is the clear problem. Same shite tactics every week, doesn't ever change formation, makes 5 changes every game. We can't keep saying trust the process. We ain't getting better. Luke says really poor performance up top again. Full possession we've had until the second goal. We've created next to nothing. First half, not even a shot on target. Mike Baker, evening all, got what we deserved. Fuck all. Absolute piss poor. Just didn't show up again. Fuming. Don't forget we are partnered with Match Bingo and Stowmarket Osteopaths. More on those later. And we're live tomorrow to break it down in more depth from 6 p.m. But I'll start with you, Richard Chandler, returning to the platform. Sadly, not returning with all 3 points because Town have lost. What's your instant reaction thoughts to that one?
Well, it was pretty shit, wasn't it? I think we have actually made the keeper make some saves in the second half, but we're just not clinical enough and we're so schoolboy defending at times. And Matty was been player of the season this season, probably for us, and then he's made an absolute howler. It happens. Morsey did the same at least once. I can remember we conceded where he's given a ball away almost exactly like that. But it's showing anything at all. There's no real characters in the team driving them forward. There's too many players that are just not performing well enough. But if you try and take any kind of positive out of it, we've not looked really good at any point other than the odd game here and there so far, and we're still in the top 6. It shows how bad the championship is this season because it's awful.
Yeah, St Austell Blue, McKenna is robotic. This is his problem. There's no striker signed in the summer. And Coxie, you've heard Rich's opening thoughts there. What are your opening thoughts? As Town do miss the opportunity to go into the top 2, but we are still in the top 6, and we haven't been great apart from the odd game here or there. But what's your instant thoughts before we break it down in a little bit more detail?
Yeah, it's fair comment. We haven't been, we haven't sort of been. It looks good of the season. It is a poor championship, and it's probably symbolic that Coventry are running away with it at the moment. They've got room to slip up and still, comfortably get promoted. But again, the script was written for us tonight to get in the top 2, and we're blowing it. But we never looked like. I mean, the second half performance was better than the first. When are we going to? We being Ipswich Town going to play good for 2 halves of football? We haven't done that for many years now. I think going back to probably Mick McCarthy days. But it was a poor. Fair enough. It's a bogey ground for us. It's a bogey team. We did deserve anything out of that tonight. If we would have got a point, that would have been a point earned.
I'm smiling there because I'm going to have to just jump to the. To the 4, which I wasn't going to do, but here we go, because we've got Fisherman joining us, and I wasn't expecting it, and he was waving to, and he was waving at me. He was waving at me from the green screen, from the green room. just that teasing wave, and I was just smiling as Coxie was talking. Sorry, Coxie. Fisherman, what are your thoughts? You clicked the link. What are you thinking? What are you thinking, man?
Oh, mate, I just been sat here watching it with me boy, and the most frustrating thing is that first half, we had no shots on target at all. And it's like we had Taylor and Nunes that were sort of not. They needed to be further up the pitch a bit more. Nunes was too far right. Taylor, who I thought had a really good game. I'd like to have seen him a little bit further forward, which is what happened in the second half. But I was like, right, okay, we're all right. I think we can go on and win this. And then suddenly we get the substitutions and we fall apart. I'm really sorry, but we have wasted serious money on that McAteer. We really have. He is one of the worst players. I've said, what the hell was he doing blasting that ball across the 6-yard box like that?
Was it a cross? Was it a shot? I couldn't quite tell watching it. Watching it live.
Well, I mean, after his miss the other day, I know people are going to say, oh, McAteer scapegoat and all that, but no, he's not. He's absolutely poor. He really is a poor player. We've had our pants pulled down where he's concerned. The other thing is as well, I mean, so like Furlong today, right? We had three long throws, yeah? No one was at the back post. No one. There was twice that went past the back post and there was no one there just to tap it in. I'm like, you can't be offside on a throw in. So just get yourself as close as you can to the line of defenders, just in case it gets a flick on. Obviously, then your offside comes into play. But there was opportunities for us to put the ball into the back of the net from that. I mean, look. We get 1-1, and I thought, right, okay, we go on and win this. But it was just. When they scored, I couldn't believe it. It's probably the worst result of the season for me, because Norwich. I mean, Norwich they've just played them, and they struggled to get a draw, but they got a draw out of them. But for us, it wasn't a good result for us tonight. We had an opportunity to stamp our authority on the top sort of 3-2 type thing, and we've just the way we set up. I've said this on my own channel. There's 3 ways you can beat a team that's got this new low block or defence or whatever. You can either go through them, you can go round them, or you can go over them. Oxford show how to beat a team like us. We're playing a long ball, hitting us on the break. We didn't do that. We don't do enough down the bylines getting the ball across. We always get the ball to our wingers and end up turning back on their right foot and pass it across the midfield. Same on that right-hand side. Agelli, I love Agelli, but he's only got 1 foot. He doesn't take down the byline, put up a cross into the box. It's like long throws was another thing. They weren't fashionable till this season.
No.
And I think myself, unless some of the Premier League start doing the byline crossing, it's not going to become fashionable.
No.
As a footballer, like I said, there's 3 ways you can really beat a team, and I think at the moment all we seem to do is try to go through teams. It's been it's an Achilles heel of McKenna's, the way McKenna plays his football. He tries to go through teams. There's not enough going round and not enough going over. And that doesn't mean to say that you've got to keep playing long balls. It just means you've got to do something different in times against low block teams that really where we struggle to break them down. Yeah, we had opportunities tonight. I mean, we had some brilliant. I thought the second half was far better, but then I just didn't understand why we needed to bring on subs. I didn't think there was any reason to bring on subs. I didn't think anybody was doing anything wrong or anybody needed to come on. I mean, gone are the days when a team that's doing okay can play for 90 minutes. It just feels.
You're always going to have those substitutions made, Mike, and you made some great points there. And Rich, I'll come to you because obviously you mentioned not individual players, but you mentioned we haven't got the whole squad or a big number of players performing, and a lot of our chat are saying the selection, the inconsistency of the selection. The only consistency with the selection is the inconsistency in the sense of 5 changes, 6 changes, 8 changes. Is that a part of the reason why you feel you haven't got a nucleus of players that are really on top form, or what do you put it down to when you mention it at the top, as you did at the top of the show?
I think there's some players that are getting picked that I don't understand why. I mean, I'm not being funny, but I can probably throw the ball as far as Furlong. What else did he do in the entire game? I don't understand how he's starting ahead of Young. We've got a player who's won countless leagues and a far better passer of the ball than Furlong, but isn't getting near a starting lineup. Taylor's had two. I know you love Taylor, but he's had two decent games, both in that run. But we haven't got a good enough central midfield to go alongside Matasiwa.
Mm. Well,
and that's part of the problem as well. Under Luongo and Morsey, they were solid. They were both 7 or 8 every week, and we haven't got that now. And you need your central midfield to tick and to really drive the game and push the game.
When we've always spoken,
and I agree with Mike about Makatir as well. I just don't get it at all.
And when we've always spoken, Rich, you've always been a big supporter, a big fan of George Hurst. I'd also go as far as a centre forward. You haven't got a centre forward at the moment that can really threaten sides with movement or spins in behind, or even ability in terms of in the box threat. Would you agree with that? George Hurst is not on it at the moment, is he? That's fair to say.
He's not, but I would say that he's done really well to bring the ball down when he smashed the shot in and it's hit the keeper in the face. And
very true.
That keeper's that's a luck save. There's no skill in that save. The keeper's just thrown everything in front of it, and he's hit it in the face rather than it getting past him. But he looks devoid of confidence. Azon looks like he's got bits and pieces to his game, but he's very new to the English game. Egley, I think, probably ends up as a 10 because I think, like Mike said, he's got 1 foot. He doesn't really seem to want to go past the man. I think we've not had a player play the right midfield position since Burns has been injured.
Well, Burns is on the grass. He is on the way back, Peter Cox. Richard Chandler there mentioned Darnell Furlong. I would actually be a little bit more of a support than Darnell Furlong. I think he brings that, not necessarily the Axel Tuanzebe style of play, but he certainly can play in a 3, which allows Leif Davis to go and get further forward and be as attacking as he is. Because that first half, particularly, I think Sky highlighted it, Peter. It was a back 3 for the majority of that first half, which that's what Darnell Furlong brings. Is that something you'd go along with? Is that why he's being selected over, say, an Ashley Young?
Possibly, or it's hard to tell with McKenna whether he has. Ashley Young should have been in far more games, but that's a fair comment by Sky. I think he does play well in that 3, perhaps. But he wasn't the only one who wasn't on it tonight. Come on, and just going back to McAteer, come on, that was a panic buy by Ipswich. I think they were just hoping they could sign Nunes and think, well, Norwich are never going to sell to Ipswich. And I think that was just a panic buy, McAteer.
Okay.
And, the striker, I remember as the transfer window ticked down to 11, 12 o'clock, whatever it was, the last one, I hope that signing a striker is not going to cost us. But, I think it is, with too much on Hursty. He's doing what he can. But we need a striker. We need a striker, and I hope that's not going to cost us long term.
Mike, before I let you go, and it's brilliant to see you. It's the whole point of what we do here is, anyone can come on and have their say, regardless of whether they do content elsewhere or not. This is the whole point of it. We welcome you. We love you, Mike. You know that. I'll tell you what. I'll be honest with you. One of the things I was not expecting to see today was you on the show. But second thing, it's also from you, Mike, was a message at about 8:30 saying Chad Taylor's playing really well. I was just not ready for this. I wasn't ready for you to be messaging me that. It came out of the blue, Mike.
Well, because the football hasn't been particularly great to watch, what I do is I'll sit there and I'll pick a player and I'll watch them for.
You'll pick on somebody. Like one of those
I'll
big
pick a
fans.
player, I'll
Go,
watch them for 20, 25 minutes, and I think to myself, I just watch them and see how they perform in that. I mean, I love Matt Sewa, I really do. But there's times when he gives the ball away that people probably don't pick up on. I think, why are they giving it away there? His engine is brilliant. Look, he had a moment tonight. And look, Morsey had 1 or 2 as well. So, but I agree with Richard, actually. We haven't had a settled midfield since Morsey and Luongo. But Taylor, for me, is a far better player at the moment than Cajuste. I just don't see what Cajuste offers at the moment. I really don't. He's not great defensively. He runs with the ball. That's it. There's no end product. So for me, Jack Taylor fits that role quite nicely. As for Furlong, he started off well with us, but there is parts to his game again where he does. Yeah, there's times when he's given the ball away and he's sort of, I'm not 100% convinced. But then again, I'm not convinced on Ashley Young. I know that obviously he comes with lots of experience, but he's 40 years old. We can't be looking and relying on a 40-year-old to help us get promoted when you've got Ben Johnson, you've got Furlong, you've got young Harry Clark in there as well. For me tonight, Jaden Philogene didn't. Some of his crossing was poor. Like I say, I agree. I think maybe it's time to play Gelly in the 10 because that's another position. Nunez, like I said, too far wide. It was difficult. It was a difficult watch at times because the difference between this side and the side that got promoted to the Premier League or that League One and then to the Premier League is technically, I guess, individually, most of the players, 90%, are probably technically better. But what they don't have is what we had and that is that team ethos. We just don't have that togetherness. There's a lot of arm waving when things don't go right. A lot of moaning, oh, you should be doing that or whatever. It's, and then I have to agree, we don't need to be changing 6 or 7. I mean, you go back, right, even 5-6 years, right, how many teams in the Premier League or whatever that weren't in Europe changed 6-7 players?
They don't. This is it. They don't do that. I mean, you often get maybe 3 changes, 2 changes, but the level of changes is, for me, is alarming. I don't like it. I haven't liked it. Even if we win, I still call it out and say I don't like it, and I'll stick by that, Mike. I really will. And I agree with you in the sense of the changes. It can't really be helped. But Mike, I love you coming on. You're so good.
Appreciate you having me on. Absolutely, yeah.
You come back again soon.
I will. And yeah, like I said, good show as normal. I do watch it. I don't always come on, but yeah, good show. Love the points. All about the points, isn't it? Eh? But not tonight for us.
Sadly, we didn't get any tonight. No, absolutely. I love you, Mike. Appreciate it.
Nil point for us tonight. But anyway,
appreciate it, Mike.
Take care, lads. All the best.
We got a comment here from another Mike, Richard Chandler, in terms of mentality. Mike D, one of our YouTube members, embarrassing, huge mentality issues with this squad. You're nodding your head. You obviously agree. Talk to us.
Yeah, I just don't. I think that's the biggest issue. I think Mike touched on it then, and it's obviously everyone will knows me knows that I disagree with Mike probably more than most people do.
Oh, yeah.
But however, he's spot on with a lot of the things he said tonight. Because
a broken clock is what you say, right?
Yeah, because there is some, you can tell, you can see it when they're on the pitch.
Yeah,
there's one thing saying to a player you need to sort yourself out and get your head in the game, but there's another with blaming players for misplay, for passes that are going awry as well. How many times have I seen Kipre just put the ball straight out of touch when he's been trying to pass it to either Philogene or Davis? For me, there's not a need to take Greaves out of the side. I think Greaves is a far better player, gives us much more going forward because he moves the ball quicker, and that is a change for the sake of it, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I think this day and age you do have to make changes in a 3-game week when you've got a game Tuesday and then a game Friday, and we've got another game Tuesday. Is it? He's going to make changes because that's the inevitability of it. And dare I say it, our squad probably does still get us into the top 6, maybe even the top 2, because it's such a poor league. But my God, the performance have got to be better than they are.
Yeah, it's going to be about, you feel, a consistent side when it gets to the real business end of the season. It's keeping yourself, if you keep yourself in the running, then it'll be about consistency, which is what Coventry have had. They've been a good side, but they've been consistent as well. And that consistency is really taken them almost out of sight. Don't forget, we are partnered with Match Bingo, and we're partnered with Match Bingo to give you a 100% deposit bonus when you use the word town all in caps you will get a 100% deposit bonus. Deposit minimum is £10, and while the bonus can't be withdrawn, the winnings can be. So get a 100% deposit bonus by using the word town, all in caps, and combine the excitement of live sport with the thrill of bingo. And we all need a thrill as Town fans right now after a shocking defeat. Whole weekend of action coming up. So play match bingo, win cash prizes. Over 18s only. T&Cs apply. Please gamble responsibly. Visit begambleaware.org for more information. Mike Hart, I thought Taylor was probably man of the match, but that shows how poor we've been when you look at the players we've got. Mike D, we don't have a decent striker after all that Dosh spent. Our right-hand side is also a big issue. Lee Bayliss, we are carrying players. You just aren't on it. You can't do that and expect to win. Rob Holmes, no disrespect, but Hurst and Azon are not good enough. Not having a true quality striker is costing us. Coxey, on Rob Holmes' point now, obviously Azon had that fantastic opportunity. The Oxford goalkeeper has had a performance similar to, I always remember Dean Gherkin having for Bristol City many years ago, where I think it was the game when it finished 0-0 on the Jim Magilton, where it was prime Toldo for 90 minutes. The Oxford keeper tonight has been fantastic. He's saved everything. Whether you say he meant it or not, his head, his arms, whatever it might be, has got in the way of it. And that one there is a very similar situation. But in terms of Azon, do you feel he, as of right now, what we need as a striker? Because Rob Holmes clearly says Azon isn't good enough.
No, bless him. He's not what. No, he's not what we need. He just needs a striker. You know, Martin Lambert's default statement one: strikers need to score goals, and he's scored one for us. And the rest has been on Hurst or Clark or Philogene. Philogene, as Mike said earlier on, is just not on again tonight. He's passing, but he wasn't alone. But the Oxford keeper, when he was called into action, done his job. Yeah.
I'll be fair to Azon though. He can't do anything else other than what he's done with the opportunity he's been presented with. He got it on target. He struck it on target. Keeper's got his head in the way. Good positioning by the goalkeeper. They are paid to play football as well. It isn't just us lot that have got the superstars or the money spent or whatever. They are paid professionals in the opposition shirts as well. And sometimes you have to say, well played. Lee said Oxford played well, defended well, got in our faces, hit us on the break and scored the goals. 2 million that to our 200 million. Chris Boyd says game changer must be wondering what the has been done with their 200 million. Mabby, on the upside, do you think how crushed we would get in the Premier League? I don't care about getting crushed right now, Mabby. I just care about getting back there. Let's get me back there. We'll worry about that later on. And Carl Williams says, I'm not sure about what Matt was thinking. Passing to nobody. It's a shame because everyone else played fairly well. And it's a shame for Matt Seawell as well, Rich, because he's been fantastic for us, but it was a real sloppy moment for us, wasn't it? We were on top, weren't creating an awful lot, but were thoroughly on top. And that sloppiness just puts you behind, and then you got to try and go again.
It is, and I feel quite sorry for Walton because he's done really well to save the first effort, and that could go anywhere off his foot. And none of our defenders are switched on enough to pick up the rebound either or put any pressure on the ball. But it has come 100% from Matasiwa's error, and he knows it has as well. You can tell the moment it goes in, and everyone else is. That's the only time that actually the team looked like a team because they were all getting behind him and going,
"Yeah,
sort yourself out."
It was also nice to see Jaden and Matasiwa as well. With Jaden, you know, after the scenes we saw the other week, and they've already been brushed under the carpet, but it's just nice to see that in that public forum of that team coming together in that moment. You're absolutely right.
As you said, Rich, Morsey made that mistake more than once.
Oh yeah,
it's the way we play. You play it into the number 5 like that, and he's got 1 or 2 places to pass the ball. It's not going to go right every time. It can't go right every time.
No, exactly.
Because if it was going to be, he'd be playing for Real Madrid. He wouldn't be playing for us in the Championship. Do you know what I mean?
No, that's absolutely fair point. Yeah, you live and die by that, don't you? And when it's good, it's good, and when it's not, that's generally what happens. You know, West Brom, for example, the game against West Brom, they had a very similar situation. They rolled it into their midfield player. He loses the ball. We score the goal. We win the game. Sometimes it comes off and it works, and it looks fantastic when you do it and you beat the press. And other times you pull your hair out and you go, "What on earth was that?" But talking about what on earth was that, a set piece goal of absolute highest quality. It's well designed, it's well worked, it's well executed. So from Mark Hudson to the players, take a round of applause. from me personally, because I'm on your back every week about set pieces. For that one, I was jaw on the floor in a good way. It was amazing, Coxie, and Davis with the execution. He's kept it down, head over it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It was perfect. And as you alluded to there, Davis, that finish wasn't easy. You know, it's on. He had to exactly right on the volley, and he got it spot on. Yeah, it's great set piece goal. One of the best we've seen at least this season. Yeah. As you said on Sky, hard work plays off, and it did on that one. That was really good to see. Yeah.
Yeah, from my point of view, because I've been on them so often for the last 18 months in terms of set pieces, just from the creativity and drawing it up in what you want to get and how you're going to get it, to the execution, to get Leif Davis isolated, put a lovely ball into him, which is what Marcelino Nunez can do. And away we go. Talking to Nunez, how did you see his performance today in the 10, Rich, as we sort of wind it down? We are live again tomorrow, 6 p.m. for more in-depth reaction. How did you see Nunez in that 10? Because he is a 10, but I get the feeling he wasn't brought in to be the 10.
I don't think, and I was amazed when Sky said that he's created the most chances of all Ipswich players this season, because I don't actually think he's played that great. He's scored a couple of good goals.
All that often.
Exactly. But I think probably he should be the one playing alongside Matt Masiwa, and we should be playing Egley in the 10 or Akpom in the 10. I know Akpom hasn't done so well in the 10 for us, but he hasn't really consistently started a lot of games. But I don't think he was great again tonight, but then he pops up with an assist. He wasn't great again in the week against Hull, but he pops up with a header to score. So it's kind of, it is what it is. I think Davis, I'm delighted that we got his new contract, because he's going to be playing Premier League football next season, whether it's with us or not, because he's head and shoulders above pretty much any other left back in the division. And people criticise him for his defensive ability, but he is getting so much better at that as well. The goal tonight for them has come because he's doing what he's told to do and get right up the pitch. And he's been let down by a really poor ball from, Taylor.
You're absolutely right.
And then not tracking him back properly, because he's on that run. I don't care. You take him down, you take the red card. If that's what it takes to stop them scoring at that point with 10 minutes left. I'm not disagreeing. And that goal, I'm going to really probably go into more detail on it tomorrow, because I want to see it again. For my live viewing, I'm really upset with that goal for so many reasons. First of all, Jack Taylor putting the ball into not Chuba Akpom, not another player that is of certain build. It's Marcelino Nunez, one of the smallest players on the football field. We're putting the ball into him like he's going to hold it up, win it, flick it on, which isn't his game. And I'm questioning that decision. And then I'm questioning the decision of Cedric Kipre, who great movement by the Oxford centre forward to step away from the back line, but Kipre follows him, and that just leaves that space in behind with Taylor caught out through the counter attack. And if Kipre just allows that striker just to go into his own half, gives him that space. If he receives it there, fine, he can turn and we can deal with it. But by following the movement, it's the space left behind, and then what you see is what you get. And I just would have liked Kipre just to drop, not follow. But that's the move. That's why you often ask your centre forwards to do that type of movement, because you create a question in the centre half's mind: do I go with him or do I stick? And a lot of times they get caught in the "I'll go with him," and you leave the space. So it's a real poor goal, every single which way. There's a question here, Coxie, from John Cardy: the worst league defeat under McKenna. Would you go along with that?
Does he mean the worst? It's not the worst defeat under McKenna, and I don't think it's the worst defeat under McKenna this season. I can't find it now, but somebody said it was. I think for me, the Charlton defeat at home was just double dog shit. But that was bad. That was bad. That really was. Oxford was better tonight, says Brian. We are on to the next game. We are partnered with Stowmarket Osteopaths. Quality care since 1985. Call 01449613633. That's 01449613633. Stowmarket Osteopaths for osteopaths and physiotherapy services. Sega said we need a more direct way of playing against these poor teams. Lee says McKenna just said not clinical enough in final third. Luke, Davis will still be an ITFC player next season regardless. He's committed here. Well, that's an argument we can have on a different day.
About the money. It's all about the money.
That was Jesse J at One of those Jesse J's hits, wasn't it? It's all about the money, money, money.
Yeah,
money,
yeah. I
money,
didn't realise that
money.
when I said it, but it is. It's all about the money. If someone comes in and offers a decent amount of money, that's why they've got him on a new contract.
Protecting the asset, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. It's what contracts are these days, isn't it? Asset protecting mechanisms for football clubs more than anything else. Okay, we're going to end it there. Unless there's anything either of you desperately want to get off your chest as we come to a close.
One thing I would say is I don't buy that it's all on McKenna with the changes and things like that. We're playing the way that he's taught them to play, the way that they're coached to play. They're just not doing it effectively enough. That's on them. They're professional footballers and they're sent out with a game plan and they're not executing it.
Okay.
And also there isn't many number 9s out there scoring a lot of goals in any division other than Haaland. Pretty much in world football. So I don't know who people thought we were going to go and get. Yes, we should have bought one. Who's out there?
Yeah. Speaking of which, it feels like he only joined Man City recently, but he's already 100 Premier League goals. Like when I heard that on the radio, I was like, I'm sure he only joined like yesterday. He's been there like it's what it feels like. It's been like there's like it feels like yesterday since Mike Brown was saying I'm not quite sure he'll make it in the Premier League. It's 100 Premier League goals. I was like, how has this happened? Have I fallen asleep and woken up and it's 5, 6, 7, 8 years later? It's crazy. We've got a couple of comments coming in, so I'm just going to read out. These players are not as good as the squad that got us to the Premier League. And Paul says, total shower of shite. Time he packed his bags. Paul is pulling no punches. I am off to go and watch the set-piece goal once again because I love a good set-piece goal. I've waited 18 months for something that is as beautiful as that was. So I'm off to watch it again. The rest of it can just get in the bin. Well, I can't get in the bin just yet. I'm talking about it again tomorrow. But join us then live, 6 p.m. for more in detail. But Coxie, Chandler, appreciate you both joining me. Thank you ever so much. And thank you at home for watching. Like and subscribe for your town news, for your town opinion and more. But until tomorrow, take care. God bless. All the best. Town have lost. You've reached the end. Thank you so much for watching. Hit here to subscribe. It's totally free. And hit here for more Talking Town videos. I'll see you on the next one.